That's only one condition to it. It cannot be a casual thought, oh Lord, I want to become pure, keep it in your mind. No. And often enough it may so happen, we'll be giving contradictions inside. Whatever it is telling, after a few minutes, we'll be contradicting it. Then the thought cannot rectify. Because you are given another negative thought, they will cancel each other's life. For example, we understand from the Confessions of Saint Augustine. Saint Augustine used to pray to the Lord. He was, in his earlier days, perhaps, he was wayward. He was given all sorts of vices. He would drink. There is no vice, perhaps, to which he was accustomed. But every time he did, he used to pray sincerely to the Lord. Lord, rid me of these things. I don't want them. I want to be pure. Please take me to your fold. He used to pray. He used to pray, Lord, give me celibacy. Let me remain a brahmachari. Let me remain a celibate. Let me never look at any woman. Lord, give me continence. Give me abstinence. Let me not take this wine. And then he will add, Lord, not yet. So this is called the contrary signal. So contrary signals go good. If you like to be 100% sincere, then it will be fructified. Tat tad bhavati asandeha sada tad bhava bhavata. 100 times, at all times, you should only be thinking of it. Then you will become it. Well, that is what even the present day of great psychiatrists like Napoleon, like Udayamurthy in the South, all these people say. The moment you are completely obsessed with one idea, all your life go on thinking of it night and day, you shall become that. If you want to become a millionaire, you are a beggar in rags, you want to become a millionaire, you go on thinking of it night and day, be obsessed with it. You shall become that. Sadata bhava bhavata. Bhavataha means with that attitude. What is that attitude? Tadbhava. Tadbhava means thoughts relating to that only. And obsession relating to the thought. Whatever qualities you want, whatever dharma you want, whatever qualities you want, go on thinking of it. I want to be pure. Lord, I want to be pure. I want to be pure. Purity, 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 purity. At all times, for sensible words, you go on thinking of that purity. Sada tadbhava bhavata. At all times, constantly having the attitude, concentrating your thoughts on that very thing, that purity alone. So tadbhava means that thought. Bhavata, the second bhava means the attitude. First bhava means the thought. The thought of that, what you want. The thought of your desire. You want to become pure. You want to become the Brahman. Be obsessed with it night and day. Go on thinking of it. It should come to a state of longing where perhaps even to hold the life for a minute longer without it becomes impossible. You would rather like to commit suicide life. That was the stage which Ramakrishna reached when for days together when he found that his divine mother had not deigned, had not condescended to give her vision. For days together he was praying, Mother, please let me have a glimpse of you. But the mother never relented. The day came when he became desperate. He said, Mother, you won't give me your vision. All right, what is the use of my being alive? That Kali has got in his hand a sword. That big sword he takes, he wants to commit suicide. He wants to bathe his own head. Then that invisible divinity known as Kali appears. It just takes off the sword and embraces him. That's all. Embraces him in his soul forever. He was always one with Kali. When was he ever separate after that? Tat bhavati asandeha. Asandeha means without a doubt. It is Lord Shiva who sees. So we have to take it as 100% correct. Without doubt, a man who is going on thinking of any of the qualities, because all the qualities of the Atma, which quality is not there? As I said, from the most material to the most spiritual, all qualities are there. You want anything, then remain in the higher conscious state, go on with your meditation, meditation, and go on thinking of what you want all the time. Be obsessed with that one idea. concentrating on that one idea, and you will get it. Now we come to the next one. Ityevam atma-vijnanam katitantu samasataha yahatvaivatmamayam sarvam atmanam paryupasate. He says, so far I have told you, Atma-vijnanam. What is Atma-vijnanam? Is Atma-jnanam different from Atma-vijnanam? Yes, so. Jnana means knowledge. The knowledge can be gathered from books. The knowledge can be gathered from scriptures. The knowledge can be culled out from the Guru's words, from the instructions of the preceptor. Vijnana is the experiential knowledge. A knowledge which is not theoretical, a knowledge which is based on actual experience. So that when it is an experiential knowledge, anybody can repeat the experiment and you will get the same result. This is what is called science. Science means that which is very favorable for experiments. And that is why in Tamil also science is called as Vijnana. Vijnana means an experiential knowledge. A knowledge is 100% based on experiments. Anybody who can repeat this experiment under the conditions prescribed will be able to get the same results. And Atma Vijnana, the knowledge about the self. Iti evam Atma Vijnanam. Evam means thus, in the manner we stated above, in all the last 21 shlokas. Iti evam Atma Vijnanam. Kathitam tu samasataha. Kathitam, I have narrated the entire knowledge which is not easy to come by. This is an experiential knowledge which only the top expert can use. Who can be a better top expert than Lord Shiva himself? This is being told by Lord Shiva. Katitam tu samasataha. Because he knows Guha or Kshatka is perhaps one of the best of adhikaris. Adhikaris means the one whose antenna is exactly fitted to receive these waves of high spirituality. He will be able to understand it and grasp it fully without any misinterpretation. And so there is no need to explain to him again and again in very big language using different expressions. Even then God is repeated several times. Because it is not meant for Guha or Kshatka or Skanda. Skanda was himself a Lord who knew these things. It is only an excuse under the guise of instructing his son. Shiva is handing over the supreme wisdom to the entire posterity. It was all. It is meant for all seekers. It is meant for all aspirants. Katitam tu samasataha. There are two methods of narrating a thing. One is called Vyasa, another is called Samasa. Vyasa means expanding, fully narrating it with different anecdotes, with similes, analogies from life, in order to enable even an ordinary man to grasp the subject very well. That is why the one who had written all the Puranas, by trying to explain the highest wisdom through various stories, in the greatest explanation possible, but expounded in all its expansiveness, he is known as Vyasa. Because the one who expands it, the one who profoundly explains it in its fullest type. And Samasa means that which is compressed. So I have told it brief. He tells his son, one is able to meditate on the Atman, one is able to worship that all worshipful Almighty, the Atman, in this way. The only way is that Sarvatma Bhava, that is Vyatva Yeva Atmamayam Sarvam. No, whatever you see, whatever you hear, they are all made of Atman. There is nothing but Atman, that wick, the plant, the leaf, the animals, the lizard, the elephant, whatever you see is all Atman. But then why these diverse forms, wherein we are unable to recognize the supreme consciousness? It is because of Maya. There is the Maya which covers it, which puts a veil. We call it the veil of Maya, the veil of delusion. And you have to penetrate through that. The only way in which you can penetrate through that is a constant thought, which is called the meditation. The process of meditation. That is the only way in which you can ultimately tear asunder that veil of Maya, and then you will come face to face with the reality. You can never face the reality. What will happen is you will become that reality. There will be nothing else left. With the result, Sarvam Khal Vidam Brahman. Everything is Brahman. You see, there is a great quantum physicist, his name was John Wheeler. And one Timothy Ferris, one great writer, he had written about this Walker. While writing, he says, Mr. Walker, he has contributed a lot to the quantum theory. He was sitting in his house and he was musing, he was seeing through the window. He was just seeing the bank of the river. It was just at sunset. Suddenly he found everything was quiet. The golden sunset was just falling on the waters. Everything looked so good. And then somebody was by his side. He said, look here. This world looks strange to us. It is wrong. What is strange is us. It is we who are strange. He used the word us. That's why I used it. What is strange is us. The world is not strange. We are unable to read the message. That is why we are unable to understand the world. Well, a day will come when the entire universe you can understand through means of a simple sentence. There will be a simple sentence which will describe this entire world. And that day you will say, people will say, whoever hears that simple sentence will say, how beautiful. How could we have missed it all these days, all this time? This is what is. Well, perhaps John Walker had not read his Bible strongly, or he was not aware of English. This simple sentence already exists as one of the great Mahavakyas, and it exists in the Testament of St. John. In the Testament of St. John, there is one simple statement. I and the Father are one. I and the Father are one. What is that? The equivalent of the great Mahavakya, which says, Aham Brahmanasmi. I am the Brahman. I am the Supreme Consciousness. I am the Supreme Being. Both are the same. Both are the same. What a simple sentence. That's all. If I am the Brahman, then you are the Brahman. Every eye is a Brahman. The entire world is Brahman. Again, there is another simple sentence. If this doesn't suit you, that is Sarva Sarvidam Brahma. The entire world, all the objects, these are all Brahman. It's a simple statement. You go on looking into it. You go on inquiring into it. That's all. You will get the entire riddle of the world, the entire riddle of this eye. Both will be revealed. That is the only way. So, Yadvaiva, Atmayam Sarva. See, Bhagavan has said several times, there is no world apart from you. This entire world is your mental concept. That's all. Only thing is, Bhagavan didn't want to give much of emphasis about this analysis of the world. What will you do by analysis of macrocosm? You will never come to an end of it. It is so vast. It is so expansive. So better do all the research in yourself. Inquire as to who you are. Then you will know what it is. Automatically it will come when you know yourself. That is why. But still he has said, there is no world apart from you. When you didn't exist during your sleep in the sense that you are unaware of yourself, you are unaware of the world. Early morning, the very first thought was I. Without the word I came up, the entire world woke up. Immediately you remembered, you were appointed at 8 o'clock, you were appointed at 9:30, and immediately you were preparing your breakfast, your coffee, your toothpaste, everything will come. The entire world will come and choke you. That's what happens. And this has been expressed by another quantum physicist whose name was Everett Wheeler. Everett Wheeler says, external reality is only an observer-created reality. There is no reality in the external things, in the external world. It is a reality which is based on you. You exist, all these things exist. When you don't exist, no world exists. So he says, the entire external reality is the observer-created reality. You have created it. It is you. You are the existence. You are the rope, and that's the serpent. It is the rope's existence which has lent its existence to the serpent. No serpent can exist unless the rope had existed. We are not supposed to imagine a serpent where there was nothing else. So, the entire existence of the world is dependent on you. It is an observer-based reality. It has gone to a very high extent to the quantum. That is why they have said that whatever you see, you can never see objectively in reality because the observer becomes a part of that. You are a part of it. It is you who has created. You are the Prakarna. You are the material cause. Where is the reality apart from you? So it is very much you, but you are seeing it in a different shape. But that different shape definitely contains you. You are one of its important contributors. So, we now go to the next. Natatra deva vedava yajnava bahudakshina ashrayet mamta vijnanam vimalam sarvato mukham. It is just like almost, it reminds us of the Devi Kalutara. It is another Adma text which we did a few months back. There a guy gives us certain methods of meditation and he says, these methods of meditation are very easy because it costs nothing. It costs nothing. And you need not bother, you need not be very particular about where I should sit, how I should sit, whether I should turn to the north, whether I should turn to the left. Nothing here. Similarly, he says, for this type of meditation on the Atman and for reaching him in the Soham type of meditation, no deities are involved. You need not bother, well, I have been thinking of Shiva, Ganesha may not be angry with me. I am thinking of Ganesha, Parvati may not be the Divine Mother, may not be angry with me. I went today, I did pradakshina only of the Samadhi, I had no time, I went away. I think Mother definitely got angry with me. Such cases do not arise. There are no deities involved at all. Nadevaha. Because there is what is Supreme Consciousness, whose representative is everything else. All of it are symbolic. Vedava. And the main bogey which arises in the Hindu system is, you should read the Upanishads. You should read the Vedas. You should get by heart the entire Rudram, Chamakam, Purushottam, and it's so difficult, the renunciation, up, down, and all these things, oh my Lord. Here it's so simple, no Vedas. You need not know anything of the Upanishads, anything of the Vedas. No Vedas are involved, no scriptural injunctions are involved, absolutely no scriptural special injunctions. You should do that, you should not do that, you are free. Simply sit, be obsessed with that one idea of Brahman, you will get it. Then, Yajnava Bhaktakshinaha. You need not do big sacrifices. You know, we may do sacrifices. What we are afraid of is that fat amount has to be given as a gift to the various Brahmins. Not only to the 15 retreats, according to the customs in the Yajna, if 300 Brahmins are assembled, you have to give a sufficient gift to all of them. It is a great deterrent for us to do these sacrifices. Here is an easy one. There are no sacrifices, no bahudakshina, no question of giving a fat dakshina. Dakshina means the gift of amount, the gift of money. So it's a great saving for you. Then, ashrayet atma vijnana. So without all these things, what you require is, you just devote yourself to the atma jnana, to the knowledge of the self. Ashraye, take resort to, take refuge, seek that Atma Vijnana. So seek only to know who you are. It's so simple. It involves nothing practically. And what type of self-knowledge it is? Jivana. It is so pure. It is so pure. No sort of any unnecessary rituals. Some of them you like, some of them you may not like. They are not involved. So you may not call it pure. You are doing a sacrifice. How pure it is? Well, many of us will feel some forms of conscience when you have to sacrifice a goat in the sacrifice. No. To this extent, there are sacrifices which are called the Purushottamanada, where a body of a man is involved. So such things are there. So some of them are revolting practices like modern man. But here, no such reversals are involved. It's so pure. Vimalam, Sarvatomukha. I have already explained the word Sarvatomukha. Sarvatomukha means whose faces are everywhere. Mukha represents the mouth, Mukha represents the gates of entrance. The entrance gate. Why? How is it that Atman is Sarvatomukha? You just raise yourself to the highest level of consciousness. How do we raise ourselves to the highest level of consciousness? By going to the Holy Company, by reading more scriptural texts, and by going to a preceptor or a guru and having his restrictions, doing meditation, keeping yourself to celibacy, keeping yourself to ahimsa or non-violence, keeping yourself pure in all respects, and you go on thinking only of that Lord, that Supreme Being, that Atman. Your level of consciousness automatically rises. When all your minds are concentrated in one part of the highest purity, the highest consciousness, automatically your level of consciousness is raised. And when that level of consciousness is raised, what will you see? All the objects that you see, every twig, every atom, every particle, whatever that you come across, is all divine, divine. You will find that each item is divinely represented. You may come across a snake. You will not see the snake. You will see the divinity in it, shining resplendently. You will come across a lizard, which is normally ugly-like, no ugliness. You will find it all a beauty. You will find the divinity coming into it. You will come across your own enemy, your sworn enemy, who has harmed you a lot in the past. You will not see him as an enemy. At that stage of consciousness, you will see him as the Lord himself. You will welcome him as the will Lord. To that extent, one of the disciples of Christ was a doubting Thomas. He used to doubt everything. But when on his level of consciousness was roused, when he went to a higher level, he didn't see any ghost. He saw the resurrected Christ. That Christ was crucified, where away a couple of days back, standing before him in flesh and blood life. The resurrection of Christ. How can he see that? There are many others who are unable to see that. It is only a few who were able to see. And he was one of those fortunate, lucky few, because his consciousness was great. So with the result, when don't you see the divine in all the things, everything is an entrance, everything is the Lord, everything is the Brahman. You enter into the plant, you go on thinking of the plant as the divinity itself. Think of the Tulsi plant. Say the Tulsi plant, you are so much favorite of Govinda. Oh, Govinda is my favorite too. You are his beloved. Oh, Tulsi, I like you a lot. Go on thinking of Tulsi. You will reach the Lord. So you see a plant, you see an animal, see the cow. Daily you say, oh cow, all the 33 lakhs of gods or crores of God, they are all in you. You are the representative of all the Lord. How passive you are you always in meditation? Please teach me how to be like you. Whatever happens, you never open your mouth. Please teach me that. Go on thinking of it. Pray to that. You will reach the divine. So these are all the ways in principle that you can reach. Sarvatomukha. The Atman is one which has got multi-entrances. And that is Sarvatomukha. And we go to the next one. Samsara Magnanam Bhutanam Sharanathinam Nanya Sharanadak Kaschite Atma Jnana Dhrute Kuchite. If you turn the book backwards on the cover page, these are shlokas which they have written. These are one of the best of shlokas. Samsararnava Magnanam Bhutanam Sharanathinam Nanya Sharanadak Kaschite Atma Jnana Dhrute Kuchite. These are all in praise of the Atma Jnana in order to enable us to know the value of the self-knowledge. Because the value of the self-knowledge is supreme. There is nothing which is comparable. No amount of millions of rupees will be equal to it. That is why he is giving this. Samsaranam Magnanam Bhutanam Sharanathinam. In the spirit of people, like us all, how are we? Nimagnanam, Magnanam. Magna means to be drowned. Not even up to the neck, the water is above our head. We are drowned completely. Where? Where are you drowned? In a big ocean. Arnava. Arnava means an ocean. What type of ocean it is? Is it an ordinary ocean? Then I can go in a rescue boat and rescue you so easily. No, it is not that visible. It is a subtle, but at the same time more dangerous than any ocean. Ordinary oceans are not even half as dangerous as this ocean. This is the ocean of the phenomenal world. This is the ocean of the objective world where everything catches. It is the ocean of relationships which I have conceived and I have fallen into the bondage of it, into the net. Samsara Magnana. Those like us who are completely drowned in the ocean of this phenomenal world. And who are we? Bhutanam. We are all the various beings. We the various beings who are completely drowned in the ocean of samsara. So what are we doing? Sharanarthina. We are sending SOS everywhere. Please save us, please save us. The boat is drowning. I am being drowned. So the SOS signal is given everywhere. Sharanarthina. We are all praying, asking for, give us refuge, give us shelter. Where shall we go? Water, everywhere. We will get drowned. We are getting drowned. Oh Lord, save us. Please take us to some Teragama, a place where we can be safe. Give us shelter. Give us refuge. Sharana. Sharana means a place where you seek refuge from all your problems, from all your difficulties, from all your hardships. That is called Sharana. Sharanarthina. Arthi means the one who seeks. And it is not an ordinary seeking. It is a seeking from the heart out of the agonizing situation in which he is placed. So he is automatically crying, Lord, save us, save us, save us. So Sharanarthina. Those who are asking for shelter, for them all, who is there who will give them shelter? Atma Jnana Rite Kuchiti. Nowhere, not Kuchiti, means nowhere. Atma Jnana Rite. Rite means without. Without resorting to self-knowledge, there is no other way. There is nobody else who can guarantee you your safety. Sharanadaha. Sharanadaha means the one who can guarantee your safety. The one who gives you shelter. Dadati Vidaha. The one who gives, we always call him Daha. Dhanadaha means the one who gives wealth. Varadaha, the one who gives boons. So here is Sharanadaha. The one who gives Sharana, that is shelter, refuge, the ultimate resort, where I can be saved, where I will be guaranteed from all dangers, from all calamities. Na anyaha kuchite, na anyaha, nobody else is there. Atma Jnana Rite. Except, Rite means except or without. So except for Atma Jnana, the self-knowledge, know who you are. When once you know who you are, you know that there is no problem in the world which can attack you. You are so immune by your very nature from any sort of problem. All the problems are drama. Then you will know, oh, I am enacting a role. This is not me. Shantananda is a role in the cosmic drama. So in the cosmic drama, according to the script, I go somewhere, I fall down, I get into an accident, everybody says some beggar is lying there, why do you bother, get out, and I am crying in agony. So I'll be feeling, oh my Lord, why are you doing? But if I were having Atma Jnana, if I know who I am, I am only laughing, oh, I am beautifully acting, oh very good, I am a beautiful actor, I am not this, I have got no accident at all, I am the Atman. How can Atman get improved? How can Atman get injured? Atman is supreme. So internally I am extremely happy and jovial, but outwardly I may be crying. That is the effect of Atma Jnana. Atma Jnana Gurute Sharanadaha Anyada Kaschite. Kaschite nobody else. Kochite nowhere else. Kaschite nobody else. Kochite nowhere else. Nowhere else, nobody else. Other than from Atma Jnana, you can get this done. Incidentally, some 1 or 2 years back, twice or so I have heard somebody singing. Many are confused about the two words, Sharana and Charana. Many people are pronouncing as Charana. Charanam, Charanam, Tava Charanam, they will not tell you. This is not, see there are two distinct words with distinct pronunciation. Charanam means the feet, the holy feet of the Lord. We call it Charanam. So, where do we seek Sharanam? Shar is like Sharira. See, there is no pronunciation I can't, there is no English word, English method by which you can show how this Shar is pronounced. And the North Indians, they pronounce as Shar. S-H, Sharir, they will say. So, it is impossible. The way in which the pronunciation is written in English transliteration is, yes, downward they will put a dot. It is pronounced as Shar. So, Sharanam. Sharanam means refuge. Lord, please take me under shelter. Please guarantee me safety. That is called a Sharanam. Ramakrishna Charanam. See, I have been seeing, then all are Charanam. And this happened twice or thrice in various places I have seen. So, we should know that there are two words. One is Sharanam and there is Charanam. Yes, we go to the Charanam for our Sharanam. We go to the holy feet for seeking refuge. So both the words will come together. Then we go to the next 24th. Atma paramo bhuva na vijanati tatvataha savuchyate tvayatrena sarvavasthangato san. See, and these are not simply eulogistic, just in praise of the Atma Jnana, giving you the benefits of the Atma Jnana. So, we can rush over that. There is not much to be thought over, there is not much to be contemplated. The idea is only to put it in our mind that this is so valuable, this Atma Jnana, or the self-knowledge, to know who I am. Atma paramo bhutva yo vijanati tattvataha. Yo vijanati means the one who knows. Yah means the one who. Vijanati, the one who knows thoroughly. Janati means knows. Vijanati means the one who knows thoroughly. So, Yaha Vijanati. Tattvataha, fully in its reality. It is not that he just goes into the periphery and he thinks that this is all. No, he has to go deep into the depths of the thing because it is so profound. So tattvataha, in full reality, in reality. Whom should we know? Atma. The one who knows himself, the one who knows who I am, the one who knows that Atman, that is the self, he is liberated. Saha muchyate. He will be liberated from all the bondages. He will be liberated from all the hardships, the sufferings, the griefs, the sorrows to which he is being subject to in this world. He'll be freed. No action, nothing can ever limit him. He becomes the limitless. He becomes the boundless. A normal finite being is being bound by desha, kala, vastu, nimitta. He is limited by space, he is limited by time, he is limited by other objects, and he is limited by causality or causation. But an infinite being has no cause. He has always been there. He will always be there. He is immortal. And he is at all times. In the past, in the future, billions of years later, billions of years earlier. He was already there. But there is only one condition for knowing that Atma. He says, the one who knows him, in reality, he gets liberated. Very good. But then, there is one condition, there only you can know him very good. The condition is Paramo Bhutva. If you want to worship Shiva, become Shiva and worship him. That is the best way. Shivo Bhutva, Shivam Piti. If you want to worship Lalita Parameshwari, Rajarajeshwari, the Divine Mother, then Ahamityeva Vibhavaye Bhavani. It says, when you think of the Devi, you don't think the Devi is sitting elsewhere. Think that I am the Devi. I am the Devi and I am wearing a beautifully red sari, just as a hibiscus color. You think that I am the Bala. I am Aruna. Aruna, Karuna, Tarangitashim, Virta Sapam, Kusa Pukavana Chapam, Anima, Divin Havatam, Mayukai, Ahamitye, Vibhavaye Bhavani. You think that Anima, the ancestors are around you. Don't think that the mother is there sitting and his daughter there. No, I am very much there. That is why Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, when he was doing the puja, he used to do, he would take it. Jagadjanani Namaha, he would put it on his head. Sri Matre Namaha, Sri Maharaji Namaha, Sri Matre Namaha. He was not aware. He was the Parameshwari. And whatever was kept aside for Naivedya, normally nobody should see even. He will take them and put it. Very good. That is the stage. That's how we can reach. So when you are worshipping the Atman, become the Atman. So he says, Paramo Bhutva, you become the Supreme Being. How to become the Supreme Being? Think, imagine. 1,000 times when you imagine, every day you imagine, I am the Supreme, I am the Supreme, I am the Supreme. A day will come when you shall become the Supreme. So Paramo Bhutva, you become the Supreme Being and then think of the Supreme Being, meditate on the Supreme Being, and that is the way to know the Atman. And then, once you know the Atman, Muchyati. How are you liberated? Ayatrena, effortless. It doesn't take much time. See the Atma Jnana, the self-relation, the process itself is very simple. As Paramahamsa puts it takes as much time as for picking the problem. But to reach the stage is a very problem. It takes perhaps months. The process is very quick. So Ayatrena. And not only that, Sarvavastham Gatopisan. Avastha means the state. Sarvavastham, all the state. You may be in the waking state, you may be in the sleeping state. The moment the culmination comes of your absolute concentrated thinking on that Atman, give yourself being that Atman, irrespective of in whatever state you are, you will get released immediately and instantaneously. Sarvavastham Gatopisan. Gatopisan, attaining. Gata means, even though you might have attained or you might have been remaining, even though we may have been remaining, Sarvavastham, any type of state, any state, it may be a Pavitravastha, you may be even eating, suddenly you may get enlightenment. You may just say Eureka and run mad in the street, helter-skelter, saying I have found it. That's all. One never knows when. I don't know how to describe it. I'm told that when Sadhu Brahmana made a chanting, for a long time when he was there, then when he found that he thought that he didn't get anything at all. So it seems he was even thinking that why should I remain here when I am able to get nothing. And one day, I don't know the characters of it, somebody told me. One day it seems when it's in the bathroom, when the shower is going on, suddenly everything changed. His entire vision changed. And I am told that he just put on a towel, he went to Bhagavan and he said, Bhagavan is that simple. It says Bhagavan just is mine. This is what I am told. I don't do it. Because there are so many stories like, but the story looks good. It's all. This is why I told it here. Because it's not a direct knowledge. So in whatever state you are, you may get release. The release comes instantaneously whenever you have reached the ultimate culmination, when the mind is completely become absorbed, it has become in actuality the Brahman. Then what is remaining? He has become the Brahman. That's all. So it is this talk. We are on the 26th shloka. Atma labhat paro labha kuchidanyo na vidyate tadatmanamupasita yojamatma parastu saha. Again, he is just telling us the importance of knowing who we are. Who am I? That is the knowledge of the self. He says, in this entire world, what do you consider the best achievement? Supposing you become the most renowned international scientist, do you think it is the best achievement? No. Or supposing you become the President of the United States, do you think it is the best achievement? No. Supposing you become a king by having a world government comprising of all the countries in both Europe and Asia, and you are the single emperor, do you think it is the best achievement? No. The best achievement is to know who we are. Without that, if you become an emperor, it is of no use. You will be beset with difficulties. You will be beset with more problems because you do not know who you are. It is due to sheer ignorance. Ignorance is the only cause of all the hardships, of all the sufferings, of all the dukkhas which you are undergoing. The moment you know that who you are, the moment you know that I am not the body, I am something else, I am the spirit, which is beyond time and space, I am the creator of the entire world, and I am one with all the creatures. All the creatures are mine. I am the one who has become all the creatures, all the beings in the world. Then there will be absolutely no loss of peace of mind. Your mind will be at rest. So, Atma labhat paraha labha. Paraha means superior. There is no superior. Paraha labha kuchit anyaha na vidyate. Na vidyate, it is not there. Which is not there. Kuchit, nowhere it is there. Which one? Anyaha paraha labha. Any other superior attainment or gain that is nowhere in the world except in Atma labha. Only when you get your own self, only when you come to realize who I am, only when you come to have the knowledge of the self, that is the greatest achievement in the entire life. That is the only purpose of our life. Then only our life becomes well done, we can say at the end. Yes, well done. You have known who you are. This is the only purpose of your life. So we have achieved the very purpose of our life. What can be the greater achievement than that? Nothing else is the purpose. All other things are incidental. Any other thing is going to involve you in more problems, more difficulties, more hardships. They are not going to give you bliss at all. The only thing which can give you that permanent and ultimate bliss is that self-knowledge. Atma jnana paro labha kuchit anyaha na vidyate See, what happened was, there is a beautiful anecdote in the Upanishad. Yajnavalkya, one of the greatest of the lawyers of Brahman, he was supposed to be in those days. Yajnavalkya had two wives. One was called Maitri, who was a fairly spiritually inclined soul. That's all. Spiritually inclined. She had that aptitude for something known as spirituality. But she had not followed anything. She doesn't know much about it. But she had the seed. The other one was Katyayani. She was 100% materialistic. She was a simple housewife. She doesn't know anything outside the house. So she was a simple housewife with a normal interest in the house. Now one day, the Yajnavalkya calls Maitri because she is the cleverer of the two. And she tells her, look here, Prabhujishya mere Atma Staradasmi. Look here, I am now going to get out of it forever. I am not going to remain here any longer. I am going for good, once for all. No more return to this place. Prabhujishyami. The word Prabhujishyami, the Prabhuja is not used for simple going. It means going for taking Sanyas, where he renounces it completely, where he takes up the monk. And he is a man who had reached a very high level of consciousness, and obviously he was very much entitled for the monk. And this is perhaps the earliest instance we hear in Vedas that somebody became a monk.